Welcome to The Explainer. So if you've been following the latest AI news, you know we're officially moving past the hype phase. For the last couple of years, artificial intelligence has basically been all about answering our questions or, summarizing long documents for us. But based on the new 2026 trend reports from both Microsoft and IBM, we're actually entering a fundamentally new era. This isn't just some minor software update. It's a massive structural shift defined by real-world collaboration. Today we're digging deep into how this tech is evolving from a simple generic tool into a genuine digital partner. I actually want to anchor this entire explainer on a really bold statement from Mauricio Torres Echenigosia at IBM. He said, and I quote, 2026 will be the year of operating AI agents at scale. Notice he didn't say it's the year of launching a new chat interface. It's a structural shift. Enterprises right now are gearing up to run dozens, if not hundreds, of autonomous agents directly in production. These agents are going to be built by multiple teams and executed across incredibly diverse environments.
To really wrap our heads around this, we have to look at the stark contrast between the passive tools we've been using and the active, autonomous partners outlined in these 2026 trends. In the old era, AI was just an assistant. You asked it to write an email, it wrote the email. Pretty generic. But in the new era, AI is a collaborator. We're talking about systems that are actively sitting at the decision-making table, running their own experiments, and acting as highly specialized agents tailored to distinct workflows.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. First, the new AI collaborator. Then, the end of generic compute. Third, securing autonomous AI agents. Fourth, accelerating science in healthcare. Fifth, the quantum hybrid era, and we'll wrap up with actionable takeaways for 2026.
Section 1. The new AI collaborator, from instrument to production teammate. We are officially shifting from AI as an experimental feature to treating it as a digital coworker that deeply understands context.
Just look at this staggering developer data Microsoft is tracking. Software development activity is absolutely exploding on GitHub. We're talking about 43 million pull requests merged every single month. That's a 23% increase, plus a massive 1 billion commits pushed annually. The sheer volume here is exactly why 2026 brings a new edge. AI isn't just learning basic code syntax anymore. It's learning the context. It's analyzing these massive repositories to figure out what changed, why it changed, and how all those pieces fit together historically.
All right, Section 2, the end of generic compute, the rise of purpose-built AI infrastructure. Because running hundreds of these autonomous agents means we have to completely overhaul how we process computing workloads.
Both IBM and Microsoft are in total agreement here. Treating AI infrastructure as just some generic, commoditized procurement item is a thing of the past. Generic cloud compute just has too much latency variance. Moving forward, we're relying on what Microsoft calls linked superfactories. This is where hardware and software are actually co-designed, densely packed, and heavily optimized to drive down costs and kill that latency.
Microsoft has this brilliant analogy for it. Think of it as air traffic control for AI. Computing power is going to be dynamically routed across these global networks. If one job slows down, another one moves in instantly. The ultimate goal? Zero idle hardware. Every single computing cycle and every single watt of energy is put to work. This kind of flexible system is really the only way we can scale the agentic future cost-effectively.
Moving to Section 3, securing autonomous AI agents, managing the risks of digital double agents. Because let's be real, with great autonomy comes some pretty significant risk.
I want to pose this critical question to you. What actually happens when autonomous agents access your sensitive data completely without human oversight? This isn't some theoretical sci-fi risk. It is the reality of deploying agent systems in the enterprise today without proper data lineage tracking.
Let's walk through what IBM calls the exposure problem. If left unchecked, these agents can replicate and evolve without leaving any clear audit records. They operate at speeds that totally blow past conventional monitoring, effectively bypassing traditional security frameworks altogether. The absolute nightmare scenario? Knowing your sensitive data was exposed, but having zero idea which agent moved it, where it went, or why it was even accessed.
The solution, as Microsoft strongly points out, is that security absolutely cannot be an afterthought that you just bolt on later. Every single AI agent must have a clear, verifiable identity. Their access has to be strictly limited. We have to treat them with the exact same robust zero-trust principles and safeguards that we apply to our human employees. Security has to be built right into the agent's core identity from day one.
Section 4. Accelerating science and healthcare.
closing the global care gap and redefining discovery. So once we have these highly capable agents running securely on optimized hardware, what do we actually do with them? Let's look at the real-world impact.
Will AI actually change how scientific research works? Like, is it just going to read papers for us? No. By 2026, AI is going to actively generate its own hypotheses, physically control lab equipment, and collaborate alongside human scientists to run real-world experiments across biology and chemistry.
To prove just how far this has come, look at this number, 85.5%. That is the diagnostic accuracy of Microsoft's AI Diagnostic Orchestrator on highly complex medical cases. For a little context, the average accuracy for experienced human physicians on those exact same complex cases was just 20%. But we really have to contrast that amazing technical success with a pretty somber reality. 4.5 billion. The World Health Organization projects that by 2030, a massive shortage of health workers will leave 4.5 billion people completely without essential health services. This right here is exactly why scaling these AI healthcare solutions matters so deeply. It's not just a cool demo, it's about closing a massive global care gap.
Let's look at Section 5, the quantum hybrid era, a breakthrough measured in years, not decades. Because the next massive leap in computing power is actually much closer than most people realize.
We are entering the era of hybrid computing. Let's define this clearly. This is a new model where quantum computers do not replace AI or supercomputers, but rather work right alongside them. It's about layering these technologies together to tackle problems that classical computers simply cannot solve, to achieve what's known as quantum advantage. Here is how these three distinct technologies combine seamlessly. First, AI finds the hidden patterns in massive datasets. Then, supercomputers step in to run the really heavy, massive simulations. And finally, quantum computing is layered on top to drive the ultimate pinpoint accuracy. This kind of unprecedented precision is going to fundamentally redefine discovery in materials science and medicine.
And finally, Section 6, Actionable Takeaways for 2026. How developers and leaders can prepare today. Because the most crucial point of all this AI news is how we actually apply it right now. If you take anything away from this explainer today, let it be these 4 hard rules. First, build your agent governance and observability pipelines right now. Trying to retrofit an audit trail later is nearly impossible. Second, rigorously audit your AI infrastructure. Is your compute just generic or is it purpose-built to slash latency and cost? Third, establish strict data lineage. If an agent touches sensitive data, you need a highly traceable record of what it did and why. And fourth, watch the research tooling space closely, especially the APIs that interface with lab equipment and quantum hybrid platforms. Which leaves us with this final, vital question as we head toward this new era. As you look at your current projects and strategies today, are you building for AI assistance, or are you truly preparing to work alongside AI colleagues? The competitive advantage in 2026 is going to belong to those who elevate the human role by seamlessly integrating these highly capable digital teammates into every facet of their work. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this roadmap helps you prepare for the fascinating shifts ahead.